Hello everyone, thanks for joining us at Pudham Junction. It's been quite a long while over the summer, that's flown past and now we're hurtling into winter. Hope you're all well and keeping warm where you are. And what have we been up to in the model room so far? Well, we've now got the carousel here. This has been wired up. As you can see, we're using the gadgets here that Mike purchased and were on a previous video. So we've got that all wired up nicely. This isn't the final level of the carousel, there will be another couple of levels to go up onto there. That will take us up to the actual levels where we're going to have the scenery. This at the minute is just coming up from the fiddle yard, so that's going to be interesting to be able to see that once we have done some testing. But we're once we've got the wiring completed for the next level of the fiddle yard along here. I'll just move the camera around for you. Okay, this around here is still to be done, and we're needing to put the point motors in here, and the point motors we're planning on using are the same as the ones that we've got on the opposite side of the room. Now it's these ones here, these surface mounted ones that come from Gagemaster. However, we've hit a snag, as unfortunately our local model shop isn't able to get any more of them. I understand that Gagemaster have now stopped producing them, so we're on the lookout to see if we can get some more. If you happen to know your local model shop does do them or has got some in stock, and if they do a postal service, please can you put a comment in the section below the video, as we'd like to contact them and see if we can get hold of some so we can finish doing our points on the other side of the room. So as we move around the room from that first carousel, we get to the first corner, and as you can see here, we've got the connectors set up with all the wiring and the soldering done again as it comes round and through onto the middle section. Now the middle section has moved with us. That came from our previous property. If I can just move that around here. And we still had to relay some of the tracks on it, as the layout of the room is completely different to how we'd originally set up and started doing the work some years ago. So there's been a bit of relaying, so that's all been done and that's all now sorted up until the point here where you can see this break. The ones on this side still need to have some alterations done, and that is one of the part of the things we're going to be doing over the next couple months. There's no wiring on the surface for this. The wiring on this section is all underneath, and that was how we were originally going to do these in our previous property. But this kind of going a bit half and half, so either side is going to be surface mounted and the middle section is underneath and hidden. Now what we're going to need to be able to complete this section here is, the way Mike's been planning it, we've realised that we need 2 3-way points. We haven't got those just now, so that's something we're going to have to save up for, to either find second-hand ones on eBay, or if there happen to be any new ones around. As you know, these things are costing quite a bit of money at the minute. Prices seem to go up before your very eyes. So that's going to be needed before we can finish putting in this last piece of track in here and getting that set up. And here we're moving into the second corner in the room, and again we've got here the Lego bricks that we've used previously, and we've had pins that are down there too. You can see the white pins holding the track in place where that's been set up. There's a bit of a bird's nest going on with the wiring just now. It's all coming together, and as you can see here, as we're working around, it's all getting tidied up and put in together. But this side is still to be worked on, and that will be coming together. That soldering is, I believe, on Mike's next job list to be done. Up here, just between the red bricks up here, I'm going to point to that, you see there's a gap, and that gap there is going to be used for taking the wiring through. Similar to see the wiring kind of through this one. So how we've done it there, that's going to be set there. That's why there is a gap in the tracks on there. And here I've just moved it slightly further round. Here, this point that's here, I'm just pointing to, we want to get that taken out, and that's going to be changed for a curved point, which will then allow us to have 3 more sidings in that gap over there where the tools are sitting just now. So that will then open that up for us. And as usual, here comes our collection of cans. They had to be somewhere in the video, didn't they? The first Coke can that you can see sitting on the side here, that is holding the place for the DCC control module, which we have here. So that will be getting fixed where that Coke can is sitting. And that brings us around to the final carousel on the other side of the room. And as you can probably tell from the colouring on here. This track has been picked up and relayed, taken off, relayed 2 or 3 times over the last few weeks, just to make sure we get the right distance between the tracks. We thought we got it right a couple of times, but when we tested it, it was too tight for the engines and for the carriages to get around there safely. But that's now been redone. We're happy with how it sits now. And that comes round up here. If you can just see that over there, there's a cutout. And what will happen here is 2 tracks will go off onto Snecky, and 2 more will continue up to the very top level, where we'll have 2 going off to Mud End. Now we're a little bit further away from that. It's going to be slightly further down the line, obviously. We've got the rest of the work to do on the fiddle yard and getting the levels back in place, but that's the ultimate plan. To give a big shout out to the Growler Blackwood N-Gage for giving Mike the idea of how to go from 1 track here over to multiple tracks on this side by using a 3-way and a 2-way point. So they're now in place, and as you can see, just getting ready to get wired up so we can give it some testing. So many thanks for that, Growler. Much appreciated. As you might recall, last time on the video we had about the lights that Mike's been putting together that are going to go around each of the levels. This here you can see is the switch panel that we're going to use. It's connected to power just underneath the level here, and the power will come through here and onto this little gadget. Again, we showed one of these before on a previous video. It's going to help us adjust the ampage, so the brightness of the lights for each of the 3 levels. So there'll be 3 of these in total on each level, and maybe a few others around for if we're going to have housing lighting or street lights, etc. So that's what's going to be in there. So this is the setup we've got. It's just loosely set on the side. It will be sitting elsewhere on the scheme, but this is where it is just for a minute while we're testing it. And what I can do, if I don't knock my camera over, is if I take a step back here, you can see it's quite dark up the top here, and that's all the rubbish that you can see. Apologies for that, but you can see all the stuff. That's with the lights off. Now if we switch the light on from the side, as you can see, it gives us quite a bit of illumination up there. And if I take it back down to the gadget, as you can see, it's displaying on the ampages that are going through it. And we can adjust that as we need it. Okay. And lastly, we haven't got any new to the fleet this time, but we do have new to the model room. And my first collection of paints and glues, little tiny paintbrush. So that will keep me amused when I start to do the scenics and painting the people, which is just around the corner, so Mike keeps telling me. So I'll have to get my my Bob Ross hat on and see how artistic we can get. Thank you very much for joining us for today's Pudham Junction. We hope you stay warm and you're all well, and we'll see you very soon. Take care now.